Cali, welcome back to the 2025 edition of A Decade Never to Be Forgotten. If you're listening, you can go create your own Decade Never to Be Forgotten at adecadenevertobeforgotten.com and then click Start Your Journal or something like that, because there's a little journaling app that goes along with this that you can answer questions every day, short answers, and then you can reflect on those over the course of the years. And that's kind of fun. Kelly, have you been doing that?
Not at all.
Awkward.
Have you been doing it?
Not at all.
No. I knew it.
Yeah, it is. I have fallen behind a little bit, but I'm ready to get back in the groove and do that better. So, a decade, you're not? You're like, I ain't doing that.
I prefer to journal on paper.
That's cool. You can journal on paper. You could use the questions to journal on paper too, if you wanted, which is totally appropriate. You get a journal and you just write the answer to write the question across the top, and then write your answer for each year down the lines. Piece of cake.
Something for everyone, folks.
Something for everyone. All right. Okay, Callie. So it's been a year. There are a few things we want to follow up on from last year. Number one, you wanted to see what it was like to win a race. Did you win a race this year?
Nope. I didn't even get close.
Didn't even get close. And how does that make you feel?
It's okay.
It's okay.
I forgot that I talked about that. So obviously it didn't matter that much.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting? Mm-hmm. Tell me more about why that's interesting.
I mean, you were the one that said it was interesting, not me.
Oh boy, this might be a long interview. Here we go. Long as in long for me.
As in you're talking a lot, or long as in you're ready to be done already?
No, not ready to be done. All right. So tell us about the last year. What was important and meaningful and valuable to you?
Well, this year in Come Follow Me, we studied the Doctrine Covenants, which was very important to me because I wanted to gain a stronger testimony of Jesus Christ and of Joseph Smith especially. And that was something that I was really looking forward to doing. And so I really dove into my gospel study this year, and I had a lot of fun with that. And so that was something that was really important to me this year.
Good. What was it that, like, what did you do to dive into it? What does that mean?
I mean, I really made my scriptures my own and did a lot more reading in my physical scriptures than I had done. I also got a set of scriptures that I was really excited to use, and I made sure to really focus on doing it every day.
Good. And I'm pretty sure you did do it every day.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So one of the things we talked about last year was you growing spiritually and being serious about your own scripture study. How do you feel like that translated this year?
Well, looking back, thinking about that last year, I've grown exponentially compared to where I was last year. And so I think that's pretty cool. Yeah.
In what ways do you see that you've grown?
I mean, we're talking about the spiritual, and so it's mainly the spiritual side. I definitely feel like last year I cared a lot about Jesus and having a testimony, but this year I feel like last year I want to make him a priority, but this year he is a priority. Especially starting this school year and this half the year he's definitely been a priority.
Cool. What does it look like that he's been a priority?
Well, I make sure to read my scriptures first thing when I wake up, or do some other sort of gospel study. I make sure I'm reading the Book of Mormon before I go to bed. And the biggest thing that I've done in the past few months is I've been going to the temple every week.
Why did you decide to do that?
Well, around General Conference time in October this year, I just was trying to figure out what else I should do to grow and be more like the person I want to be. And so I came to the idea that I should go to the temple every week because I only have 3 classes this year, and so I have a lot more free time, and so I wanted to use that free time to use that towards things that actually matter to me and that are really important.
So why do you only have 3 classes this year?
I played the game. Well, I realized that there weren't many classes left at my school that I really needed to take and that were going to help me in my future, and so I decided I only wanted to do the ones that would actually help me and fulfill my credits and also stuff I actually want to take.
Yeah. So you needed only a English class and an art credit to finish your credits. And then you were done with everything you needed to do. And then you also are taking a math class because you want to take a math class, right?
It's calculus, by the way. Let me just flex on that for a second, because apparently that's impressive.
Yeah. So, so your hard work early on paid off to where you only go to school for 3 periods. And then what do you do with the rest of your time?
Well, at the beginning of the year, I was thinking of having a whole plan and having a whole structure, but I realized that what's really important about the time that I have is using it towards what's going to help grow me as a person. That may not be explicitly academic stuff is how I thought it would be. I spent a lot of time studying for the ACT and writing getting my college applications done, which was, I think, good use of that time. And I've also been using it to look into other things that are interesting to me. And something I've been doing is going on a walk with my mom. So I've been strengthening our relationship with her, and that's something that's been very important to me.
Mm-hmm. And that is one of those things that you can, when you prioritize your time to do the things that you think are really important, then you make time for those things that are important. And do you feel like you are less busy, more busy, the same busy with only having 3 classes?
I think I would definitely say less busy, but in a way also more busy because I'm using the time to do stuff I actually want. And I've been able to attend a lot more events and different activities this year, which has been really enjoyable for me.
Mm-hmm. So Mom and I have talked a lot about that with regards to you, in that you aren't in school as much, but you still seem plenty busy to us, because it's not like you're coming home and just, putting on a show and watching TV. But you have a lot of things to do. And so your work and applying for college and the ACT prep and all that stuff has taken up a lot of time. And, it doesn't feel like you are like free all the time. When you're home, you get home, you go on a walk, you eat lunch, and then you're working on schoolwork or whatever else you're doing, or work. And so that's been interesting to see, and really gratifying from our perspective that you're actually using your time wisely and still doing something productive every day.
Another big thing I forgot to mention was I'm using a lot of that time to do work stuff, because there's a lot of podcasting stuff that I have to be working on. And that's been good to have that time, because that frees up my other time, like my weekends. I used to have to do a lot of podcasting stuff late into the evening on Saturdays, but I've been able to do less of that because I've been able to work on that during the week, which has been nice because it makes me money. So it's good to have that, and I'm going to need the money in my future, but it also helps me grow that skill that's going to be very valuable in the future. Yeah.
What is this semester of school taught you about time management that you didn't understand or didn't know before?
I think I definitely understood the law. I think maybe it's Parkinson's law, where it's like the more time you have to do something, the less likely you are to get it done. I think that's who said that. Yeah. But I definitely understood that a lot more, because even though I have more time, sometimes it's hard for me to get things done. Sometimes I feel stressed about getting all done when I only have like 3 hours after school, and then I have to go back to school for practice for cross country. But it's interesting because it helps me realize like everything you do in your life is about your time management. Like if you can manage your time, then you're going to be very successful. Like a lot of it just comes down to how you use your time. Yeah.
Everybody has the same amount of time in the day. And Parkinson's law is that your work will fill the amount of time that you allot to it. So if that's the opposite way of saying that if you have more time to do it, you're less likely to do it. The reality is, if you say, I only have 25 minutes to work on this, then you're going to spend 25 minutes on it, and then you're going to be done, and that's it. And that's really how it works. If you say this has to be done in 30 minutes, then it's going to be done, or you're going to realize you didn't give yourself enough time and you're going to adjust it. But if you say I have to do this in 3 hours, you're going to spend 2.5 hours goofing around and then get it done in 30 minutes anyway. So this is the fallacy that people have when they think they work better under pressure, is like they procrastinate, and then it's time for it to be due, and they have to get it done. So then they throw something together, and they feel really good about it because they were productive compared to the rest of their time where they weren't productive, and they were just dilly-dallying around. And now they do that thing, and they're like, oh, I work better under pressure, which is just a lie they tell themselves that justifies their procrastination. And you do not fall into that camp.
No, it's very frustrating people talk about stuff like that because I know it's not true. It's like you're saying it's not that you work better under pressure, it's that you work better under certain time constraints. It's not like if you gave yourself that same 30 minutes 2 weeks earlier to get a project done, like you get it done because you work better under knowing that you have a specific time constraint. If you were very like rigid about like, this is a 30 minutes, I'm going to get this done, and that's going to be the end of it. And so,
yeah. Will you take that microphone cable and just loop it up around the little hook there on the post? There.
What is this trying to do?
Oh, it's caught underneath there you go. Pardon us with our technical difficulties here real quick. Now loop it up. There you go. All right, that'll work better. Okay. So you're learning about time management. Let's talk about your future and what you're going to do going forward. The future. All right. So, you're halfway through your senior year. What are your plans going forward?
Okay. Drum roll, please.
There it is.
I am going to be going on a mission.
Woohoo!
In middle end of August of 2026.
Okay. Now, we got to talk about that because the plan was for you to go to BYU for a semester. Mm-hmm. In fact, you only applied to BYU and BYU Idaho because you were like, if I don't get into those two schools, there's no point. So, did you get accepted to BYU Idaho?
Yes.
Did you get accepted to BYU?
Don't know yet.
Don't know yet. So, still up in the air. So, tell me about changing your decision from going to a semester BYU to being sure you're going on a mission now.
Well, when they announced the age change for women from being 19 to 18, that was like a pretty big thing. And so that definitely helped a lot because of the option to go earlier. I had always thought like I was going to go after semester BYU because that was going to be the earliest I could go. But I'd always thought it was just kind of like a weird transition, like having to only go to a few months of college and having to go back and leave on a mission. It just didn't make a lot of sense to me. But then when they announced the age change, I just really felt like that it just made a lot of sense to me, and I kind of knew that was what I was supposed to do. Mm-hmm.
So did you have any premonitions or ideas that this was going to happen?
I kind of had a feeling about it. I think I either had a dream or I was talking to somebody about it, that I just kind of felt like an age change was going to happen soon. And so I didn't really, at the time, I didn't think, I think it's going to change soon. But when they announced the age change, I just kind of felt like I knew this was coming.
Yeah. So what does that mean for you and how the Spirit communicates to you? Because you're kind of underselling it, to be honest.
Well, it didn't seem like that big of a deal.
Well, the thing that I noticed was that you were in tune with the Spirit and you were spiritually prepared for this age change. And that means something to me, at least.
That's good.
Does that mean something to you, or were you just like, not a big deal?
I mean, I didn't really see it. I thought it was cool that I kind of like felt like it was coming, but it didn't really seem like that big of a deal. And then you and Mom were like, Callie, this is so amazing. You got to write in your journal. How did this happen? And so it didn't really seem like a huge deal to me at the time, because I feel like I'm just so used to having the Spirit with me that like I don't really notice as much when something happens.
Interesting. The way I saw it was this was a very clear indication to you of how the Spirit communicates with you to prepare you for whatever it is that the Spirit wants you to know. What's your perspective on that?
I mean, that would make a lot of sense. I agree with you on that.
Okay. You think you want to expound on that?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. So, going on a mission, and what are you excited, nervous about as it relates to that?
Well, I'm very excited because I think it's going to be a very cool experience, and I'm very excited to share the gospel and help people come closer to Jesus, because I think that's just going to be very, very cool. And so I'm excited for that. I'm just like, I don't really know. I'm just nervous not being ready, even though I know I'm the most ready person out there. So if I don't feel ready, then I'm not sure how everyone else feels. But I'm not super nervous about it. I used to be a lot more nervous, but I think as I've been, like, I was looking at the, like, missionary recommendation interview questions the other day, and as I was reading through them, I just felt like I was just thinking about how to answer them, and I just felt really confident and like at peace with it. And so I'm not really super nervous about it.
Are they basically like temple recommended interview questions?
Yes, except for some of them, like when you're talking about the word of wisdom, your testimony, and the law of chastity, you have to expound on those and share how you feel about them. And so as I was thinking about those, I just felt really like confident and like at peace with them.
Good. That's good. So I'm sure there's been a lot of other girls your age who have been talking about this. What's your general sense of how other girls are feeling about the age change?
Well, I remember when it was first announced, everyone was kind of like freaking out, which was kind of like, I mean, understandable, but also kind of weird because like it just seemed like it was going to happen eventually, and like it's not going to change your plans that much. I feel like I just think for people, it felt like they had less time to make a decision. It was like sort of like the procrastination thing. They were procrastinating it, but then it suddenly hit them that they might have to make that sort of decision earlier. And so.
And how did you feel about that for yourself?
I mean, it was a little like shocking, but I felt pretty at peace, and it was just, it was super cool to me because I saw it as just another option, another opportunity, another way I could go, which I thought was pretty cool. And I mean, going in the summer is I feel like it opens a lot more doors. I'll like be back to like be with my family for like when my brother graduates, and I'll be able to spend some time with them before I go to BYU.
Mm-hmm. Which you likely would have missed your brother's graduation. You may have missed him completely because he may go on a mission right when he graduates, and so you may not have been able to have that happen at all. So, okay. Anything else you want to say about that?
I don't think so.
Okay. So how did you ultimately come to the decision to go on a mission instead of go to college? Like, tell me about that. Like, how did you know that was the right thing to do? Because when it first happened, you were like, I'm not sure what's going to happen. And then you finally said, I shouldn't say finally, it didn't take that long.
It didn't take that long.
But you said, I know my plan now. And it was different than what it was. So how did you understand that you need to change your plan?
Well, this is where I feel like it's one of those like dramatic stories that people kind of like talk about. But I was like, I've been praying a lot and thinking about it a lot. And I didn't really feel like I was getting an answer. And then I was talking to my mom about it, and she was like, sounds like you've already decided. And I was like, oh, maybe I have. And so that's when I was like, I'll just go in the summer.
Okay. So it wasn't like this big time revelation, like
No.
you must go.
No.
It was just, it felt right. Okay. And how does that jive with other times that you have felt guided by the Spirit?
It's pretty much in line because it's usually not a big thing. It's usually just a small thing that feels right. And something I've noticed about how the Spirit speaks to me is like, it's usually speaks to me in the way of like, I'm already like halfway leaning towards doing something.
Yeah. And so every missionary goes through this where a couple days or a couple weeks or a couple months before they go, it gets real. And then they're like, I can't do this. This is too hard. I can't learn a language. I can't preach the gospel for 18 months. I can't do whatever. This is not good. I can't do it. I'm going to back out. How are you going to deal with that when it comes? Because those feelings are going to come. What's your plan to deal with that?
I mean, obviously I'm going to lean on Jesus and trust him and pray and just continue doing what I know is right. Cause that's the thing that grounds me, not grinds me, grounds me is like my habits of scripture study and prayer and going to the temple. And I also I don't really see myself as like being as impacted by those feelings as much, because to me, it's like, it's just a natural progression of like life. Like other people are like freaking out about like their last Christmas with their family or like graduating, but it's just like, it's going to happen. So it's like, why would I forget about it? And so I think just like stressing about it and worrying about it and thinking I'm not ready is not going to help, because as I said, I'm like the most ready person there is. I'm just saying, I'm not going to be shy about that.
Yeah. And Mom and I have told you for months that you are definitely ready. And so when when we say that and when you say that yourself, what does that mean to you to be ready?
I think being ready means having my own testimony and knowing that what I believe is true and that I'm teaching it because I know it's true and I know it's going to bless others. I'm not still trying to figure out my own testimony while I'm trying to tell people it's true. So I think that's really important. And also just having experience with the scriptures and having experience with the things that I'll have to be telling other people to do.
Yeah, that's good. One of those things that you said is having your own testimony. And that is really important too, because a lot of people go on a mission and some people haven't even read the Book of Mormon before they go on a mission.
That's actually crazy. I just cannot imagine, like, even if I hadn't ever read the Book of Mormon and I was planning on going on a mission, I would absolutely read it. Like, I cannot imagine going on a mission and, like, talk about being unprepared. Like, that would stress me out. I'm stressing, like, thinking about the people who have to go out without reading the Book of Mormon. Like, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. So how many times have you read the Book of Mormon now?
I count, like, every night. I think I'm on my 9th time.
9th time reading the Book of Mormon. And so that's pretty good. Having a daily scripture study habit certainly helps.
I would say it's more than pretty good. I think it's pretty freaking amazing. Since we're talking about me here.
Yes. It is. It is amazing because not everybody can say that. And it is a big deal that you are reading the scriptures every day and that that's part of your routine and that you have that much familiarity with it. One thing you'll definitely realize once you get out there is that having a familiarity with it is much different than talking about it every day, all day, and trying to help people see that it's real and what your role is in that, because that's a lot different than you just reading it. And you are in a very unique position compared to everybody else you're going to talk to, where you come from a family where we love the gospel, love the scriptures, talk about it regularly, and not everybody has that. And some people just don't have that at all. So what are your thoughts about how you're going to share something that is second nature with you, with other people that like couldn't even fathom reading a book every day, let alone reading a book of scripture every day?
I think just like, because like there's so many sometimes complex things like in the scriptures, I think just making it as simple as I can. And like, that's something I did with the Doctrine Covenants this year, is every time at the end of my, like I would be reading a section, I made a list of what I learned about Jesus in that section. So I think just keeping it simple, and like most people can relate to knowing, to like there being like a God, like whether they're from like a different religion. I think just keeping it simple and just remembering that it's all about Jesus, I think will help people understand a lot more, because anybody like can believe in Jesus. It's hard to gain, sometimes it's hard to gain testimonies of other things, but Jesus is something that people can gain testimony of. So I think making sure it's like rooted in him.
Mm-hmm. Good. It'll be interesting to hear how that part plays out while you're on your mission and what that's going to look like, which I think next year we're probably going to do the interview just before you leave on a mission. And then we'll have a whole year where you'll be on a mission, and we'll need to figure out what this podcast looks like then, which probably we just won't record anything during that time. We'll just record something when you get back, because you should be focused on a mission when you're on a mission, you know? What are some things that you are thinking about as it relates to you going on a mission, goals you have or things that you want to be able to do or accomplish, or where you want to go, any of that stuff?
Well, I definitely want to go somewhere out of the country, and I want to be able to learn another language, because I think because of my experience with Spanish. Also, another thing that happened in the last year, I got my seal of biliteracy.
Let's go.
Thought I'd mention that. But I think that was something I would really love doing, and I feel like I would love to have the opportunity to love people in a different country, from a different culture. I think that would be a really awesome experience. So I just really want to go like outside the country and like be able to speak a different language.
Mm-hmm. And not Spanish?
I mean, speaking Spanish would be okay, but I would love to just learn another language so I could be trilingual.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
That would be cool. What is the other language that you would like to learn? Like, what's top 3?
Ooh, I have not thought about that. I think it'd be really cool to learn an African language. I think Africa would be a really cool place to go. Mm-hmm. I think it'd also be cool to learn like an Asian language.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have one in specifically, but I think Japanese would be probably cool to learn. That's the first one that came to mind. So, and then I don't know for the third one, but that's not something I thought about. I'd be happy to learn any language. I think it'd be really cool to learn like German or French because those are pretty common, but I think it'd also be really cool to learn a very like niche language.
An obscure
language.
Yeah. All right. That's cool. So there are a few other things that you have goals on. One of which is to travel to a different country each year.
Oh, yeah.
And so last year you went to Costa Rica. This year, tell us about that.
This year I went to, drumroll please, Germany with my dad.
Cool. Yes.
Yes, you.
Yes, me.
Remember that?
I do remember that. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was a very fun trip, and it was a fun and different way to travel because we got to stay with one of my dad's mission friends, or your mission friends. I'm speaking to the audience here.
That's okay. They get it.
One of Jethro's mission friends. And so it was cool because we got to stay with real Germans and live the real German life. Mm-hmm. Even though at times it was pasta with watered down ketchup. But it was very cool to experience it that way and experience it with locals.
Yeah. So what made that cool? What was it about that made that type of travel awesome?
I think it was cool because you're able to see a culture through like the lens of like the people, I would say, and it was cool to see how different we were from them, but also how similar. And I just think it was really cool to like experience it with like the actual people. And so like I think going on a trip and not really interacting a ton with like the people in that area, I think would be like not as fun. Like I remember when I was in Costa Rica, our tour guide and our bus driver were both from Costa Rica, and so it was really cool to talk to them and have them talk to us about like their experiences. And so I think it's really cool to see it through the people, and that was something we saw a lot of when we were in Germany, so that was awesome.
Yeah, that was. So what was the highlights? What were the highlights of that trip?
I think I really enjoyed going to Prague in the Czech Republic. Believe it or not, some people don't know where Prague is. I said it to somebody one time, and they're like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "What is wrong with you?" But that was really cool because that was one of those destinations that is like, it was very beautiful and it was very old, and it was just cool to see a lot of history because we don't have history like that here in America. And so I really enjoyed that. And I also just enjoyed like going on little trips around, like little day trips in the days that we were just where we were in Germany. And I think that was really cool to just hang out with our friends and like get to know them and see like what they think is cool.
Yeah. You're a big World War II fan. Mm-hmm. So what about World War II and what Germany being a prime party in that whole situation? What was interesting or unique or you didn't understand before to you about that aspect of it?
I think it was cool to see in real life those sort of things that you hear about. I mean, we didn't see much of it just based on where we were staying, but the most we saw about it was when we went to Berlin. Mm-hmm. And I think that was really cool to just kind of see that. And I think the coolest part about going to Berlin was going to see the Berlin Wall and read and going to a museum about World War II and just kind of like learning more about that. And it was really interesting to like see and learn about it in the place that like these things actually happen, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah. You know, for me on that front, I did not realize how incredibly flat Germany was.
It is very flat.
I mean, my mind was blown because I knew that it wasn't like mountainous like the Western United States where I grew up, but I had no idea how flat it was. And to think of all the reason why there were tank battles and there was trench warfare and those kind of things is because there's no place else to go. Mm-hmm. We went to Berlin and went up in that balloon thing. And as far as we could see, there was no change in elevation.
Mm-hmm.
It was just flat as could be. And one guy told me that there was a hill that was like maybe 500 feet high. And that was the biggest hill between Paris, France, and Moscow, Russia.
Wow.
That's what the guy said. So whether that's true or not, I don't know.
Probably not.
Probably not. But it makes sense why World War II happened how it did and what kinds of things went on there because of the terrain. Mm-hmm. And that was something that I know I've read in history books and stories about it, that it's a flat terrain, but I never really understood just how flat it was until that point. Mm-hmm. And that was really interesting to me. Anything you want to add about that?
I mean, I do agree. It was very flat. we went on a big run while we were there. Big being 14 miles.
Yes.
And it was very flat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think I would have been able to run that far if it was hilly. I was looking at my elevation graph from that just today on my Strava, and the elevation was like 300 feet or something. Like, I think it was like 500 something feet. And then we gained like barely any elevation. It was just very flat, and it's very interesting.
Yeah. And most of the elevation change happened because the place we were running used to be, well, the place you were running, I wasn't running. The place you were running used to be a coal mine that they dug out all this ground and then refilled it. And any change in terrain was because it was man-made, which is just crazy too. So any hills you went up were
fake.
Fake
hills.
Fake hills, but I bet they felt real when you were running up.
Oh yeah.
So
when I was crying.
Yes. So excuse me. Sorry about that, everybody.
You have to cut that out.
I'm not cutting that out. I don't edit these. So the talk about that run, because that was the farthest you've ever run, right?
Yeah.
So tell me about that.
Well, it was pretty cool. It was very long. 14 miles is a long time. And I was very proud of myself because I've never run that far before. And it was cool because I didn't do it alone, which I definitely would not have been able to do it if I did it alone.
Mm-hmm. All right. Who did you run with?
Oh,
yeah.
Well,
tell us more. That means expound on it.
I'm new to this thing. Well, my dad biked, and he was like our camel.
Yeah.
Donkey.
Water carrier.
Donkey. Yeah. No.
Thank you.
Horse.
Mule.
That's the word. It's a mule. You were our mule. And then his mission friend, Matthias, ran with us or ran with you as you biked. You guys chatted and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then I also ran with his daughter, Emma, who is my age. So. Yeah.
So so you ran just about every day we were there. Mm-hmm. And then what made you decide to do this long run? How did that come up?
Well, I think Matthias was like, we could do a half marathon. If I could do a German accent, I would do a German accent. He was like, we could do a marathon. And I was like, okay, let's do it. And then Emma and I looked at each other and we were like, sure, that'll be fun. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And
so that was a hard thing to do. You persevered and did it. And what was the low point of that run?
Probably when I was chafing pretty bad. I mean, the 14 miles long. I didn't know at the time. I thought it was going to be like 13, but it ended up being like 14, which I was not really happy about at the time. Yeah. But at about like mile 5 or 6, I started chafing, and because it was wet there. Yeah. And it was just not a good start. No. I was very unhappy, and so the rest of it was just kind of miserable. And I remember stopping. I think we were 8 miles in, and it just hurt so much. It was very unenjoyable. Mm-hmm. And so that was probably the worst part, is just like the chafing. Yeah. Believe it or not.
Oh, I believe it.
It wasn't the miles, but it was the chafing.
Yeah. The other part was when he said that we were just like a kilometer away.
Oh my gosh.
And it turned out being a whole mile and a half or something.
Yes, that was very frustrating because I was running in a place I was unfamiliar with. I had no idea when we were ending. I also wasn't sure what side of their town we were coming in on. I got confused with that part, and so I had no idea where we were going to end. So the end, I was just like, I don't even know when the end is, and so it was hard to keep going when I wasn't sure how close we were, because I thought it was only going to be 13 miles, but it ended up being 14. So yeah, I just had to like keep running, even though I didn't want to.
Yeah. And like, if you don't, you still are going to have to walk all the way home.
Yeah, but walking is nice.
Yeah. Walking is nice. And you guys just kept on going, which was good. And that was really cool to see you and Emma both run the farthest that either one of you ever had. And that was a cool experience. Of course, Matthias and I have both run a marathon, and I've run several half marathons. So like, it wasn't that big a deal, but.
Okay. You want to try running it that fast?
Oh, good times. All right. So, the way that, you went on a school trip, you traveled with me. This year coming up, you're traveling with Mom. Mom and I travel very differently.
Oh, yes.
And I don't know if you've found the way that you travel, that you like to travel yet. But school trip, traveling with me, you already know what Mom travels like. So tell me about your preferences for travel and how you think those things are going to play out throughout your life.
I think it was fun to go with a group of people that I didn't really know, because I got to make more friends. I got to be friends with this girl that goes to a high school in our area, and it was fun to just get to know her, and she also does cross country, so it was fun to have a friend through that and being able to experience something like that with other people. So like sometimes, like one of the guys that was on the trip will like sometimes randomly bring up the trip, and it's just fun to talk about that, and I think it's fun to create those kinds of relationships on those trips. I also enjoy traveling with my dad because he's very relaxed, and so it was nice because he has a lot of connections, so we were able to stay with his friends, and so it's very relaxing traveling with him. I'm a little nervous to travel with my mom because she does get very nervous when she travels, but I think because I've traveled to Europe before and I've traveled more internationally, I think that'll help. But when I've been talking with her about our itinerary, I'm a little nervous because it sounds like we're going to be doing a lot. And we're going to Scotland, so I think that's going to be really cool. But Scotland also isn't my like top destination. I'm excited to go there, but we're mainly going there because it's where my mom wants to go. And that's something I want to do for her, is like go somewhere that she wants to go. And so I'm excited to do that with her. And I'm close in a different way with my mom, and so I'm excited to have that experience with her. And we're also going with my aunt and my cousin, and so that's also going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that part definitely is going to be fun. So thinking about, like, Mom plans a lot, and that's one of her gifts, is she can do that. That's definitely not my gift. Like, I pretty much show up and say, we should go do this. Like, those are two drastically different things. And I think most people are on a spectrum somewhere in between those. But I pretty much plan nothing before I go, or very little. And where do you see yourself falling along that spectrum?
I would say kind of in the middle, but definitely more on the side of kind of just like showing up and seeing what's there. Because I really like to something I loved this trip is just walking around in the cities and just seeing them. And so I think that's something I want to do, is I just want to have that free time to be able to go and do those things. Because like the reason why I want to travel to these places in the world is not so I can do very specific things. Like I don't want to go on this like very specific hike or do this very specific thing. I just want to see what it's like, and I want to like meet people. And so I think that the way that why I want to travel makes it so makes kind of like, what's the word? The way I want to travel, like, impacts how I'm going to travel.
Exactly. So for me, another thing with that is I want to see how people really live there, and not just only stay in hotels and only eat at restaurants. But, you know, what I loved about going to Germany was being able to have dinner with the Seidels and see what it's like for them, and what their day-to-day is like, and what kind of food they eat like on a regular basis at home. Like
pasta with watered down ketchup. Spaghetti, nonetheless.
Yeah. And, you know, the funny part about that is that was one of their favorites, and they were very excited to share it with us.
It was so gross. I hated it.
And what's funny is that was by far the only bad meal that you had there, right?
Yeah.
So everything else they made and had was really good.
Except for that.
Yeah. So good. All right. So what else do we need to talk about?
I have no idea.
Okay. Well,
We could talk about what I'm doing in the next few months.
all right. Let's talk about what you're doing in the next few months. Callie, tell us about some of the things you do in the next few months.
Let's see. Well, let's start with January.
Let's start with January.
I'll give you a month-by-month play-by,
Okay.
run-by, whatever it's called. Something I'm looking forward to doing in January is basketball. Not playing, but watching. One of my best friends plays basketball. She does it every year. And when I used to play basketball back in my day, I used to love watching basketball. I still love watching basketball, but I really enjoyed because I was able to watch a lot of her games because I was there because I had to play in an hour. And so I really enjoyed that. But this year I made a goal to go to as many basketball games as I can. And so I'm really looking forward to going to a lot of her basketball games. She usually has 2 a week. And so I'm really excited to watch her and support her because she's also going to be playing in college. So that's pretty cool to say I knew her back then.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah. And then
Anything else in January?
I'm volunteering at Eloise's middle school in her Spanish classes. Not her specifically, unfortunately, but I went once this year so far, so hopefully I can do that more, and I think that'll be fun. And then also Unified Club, I'm looking forward to doing more of that.
Good. And going to Spanish class at Eloise's school is part of your homeschool, part of your program this year, that you wanted to not just continue to learn Spanish, but also be able to help others learn it.
See,
Good one. So what's cool about that is that it's all fine and dandy to learn something, but you are wanting to give back and share what you've learned with others.
See,
By doing that with students at the middle school. Anything else in January?
I don't think so.
No spend in January?
Oh, yes, I'm doing a challenge. I'm doing a no-spend January challenge. I feel like I've been spending a lot of money these past couple months with buying things that I actually do need, but I do feel bad about buying them and getting Christmas presents and stuff, which is great, but also I do not really like spending money. And so, but bouncing off that, I'm also going to do a challenge each month leading up to my mission. I also decided that's new to you, Dad.
Oh,
First
that
time
is
you heard
new.
about this.
Breaking news. Breaking news.
news.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Do you know what your challenges are for each month already?
I think I maybe know February, but I don't have any idea for the other ones.
Okay. What's your challenge for February?
I think I'm going to meditate daily.
Okay. Focus February.
Focus February, that's nice.
There you go.
What would January be if it's no spend January? If we got to do a J.
Oh. I can't think of a J that has to do with...
There's not many words that start with J.
No.
Besides Jethro and Jones. There's not much else.
That's pretty much it. Okay, so that's January. What about February? Meditation every day, and then what?
Well, more basketball.
More basketball. Good.
More volunteering. Not much, honestly. My brother's birthday's that month, so that's exciting. He will be turning 16, so that's a little scary to think about.
And so you can, if he gets his license, you can start being chauffeured instead of driving.
Which I don't really like. I like to drive. I like driving. And I don't really want to be chauffeured by him. It's okay. He needs a practice.
He does need the practice. Okay.
Then March, track season starts, which I'm very excited. I'm hoping to be repeat captain.
Oh.
Which is a hope of mine. I'm excited to get back into training with my teammates and for it to be warm. Not that it's cold, but
No, it's not.
I'm looking forward to training with my teammates again and doing the steeplechase again, hopefully going faster than 10 minutes.
Yep.
Because that's pretty slow. So I'm looking forward to that. And that's pretty much April as well. And then I'm also working on running Katya's fundraiser this year. And so I'll be spending a lot of time March, April doing that. And I'm hoping to do it beginning of May. And so I'm looking forward to doing that.
Good. Probably should do some of the stuff for that in January and February too.
Yes. But I'm sure a lot of it will be in the spring.
Yes, for sure. And one of those things is I'm hoping that you will be the one running Katya's live streams each day, and that I'm not doing that anymore.
Not fun for you?
I mean, it's fine, but I think it'd be good for you to do that as well. So I'm hoping you're doing the whole project. So the live streams are really fun for Katya, and they're fun for other people as well. And she always gets people watching and excited. In fact, remind me to tell you later about another idea I had for Katya.
Okay.
We'll see if this one comes to pass in the future, but an idea of how we could help her become the famous girl she wants to be, which is definitely what she wants. So, so anyway, so what are you excited and looking forward to about that fundraiser? Like, oh my gosh, I gotta stop doing that. Jeez. What's something that you're excited about with that? I'm sorry about the noise, everybody.
Well, I'm excited to actually do it, and I think it's going to be fun hosting an event, and we're planning on doing a 5K run, which is actually something I'm really excited about because that's kind of my thing.
Yeah.
And so it's pretty nice that it's that sort of thing, but I'm excited to learn some new things and just say that I can run a fundraiser because apparently that could be really valuable.
Yeah. I mean, putting on any kind of event takes way more energy and effort than people think. And so you being able to say, I did this and there were this many people involved, or we raised this much money, is just a good barometer for your own understanding and awareness of what you are capable of doing. Because if you could do it with a small group, then you can figure out how to do it bigger and better in the future, or do it for anything else that you may want to do in the future as well. That's the part that I think is cool. So you've already figured some things out about that, which is going to make it better than what it was when I was running it. And that's pretty exciting too. So do you want to share any of those things?
Well, I think I figured out a location. I figured out kind of what the event's going to look like. I figured out what things are going to be needed and what kind of people we're going to need to run it. And I've just thought a lot about the event itself, and I've got a lot of things figured out for that, which I think is important early on because you have to secure permits and stuff because we're trying to use a public park. And so I think I knew that this is something I had to be figured out ahead of time because I knew something like that was going to come up. And so I think just having a plan and then working on the execution. Yeah,
it's good. And what I think is so cool about it is that you're figuring out how to make these things happen, and you thought you wanted to do it at a certain location and then decided I should probably see if I need a permit for that. And then you did. You found out how much it costs, how many people are allowed on that permit, and all that kind of stuff. And those are the things, going back to what we were talking about you just doing three periods of school this year, is you are learning how to play the game. And that's something that we've talked a lot about in our family, of learning how to play the game. And life is a game, and you're starting to figure some of those things out.
I'm winning.
Winning,
As of right now, I'm currently winning.
Yes. And what I love about this opportunity for you is that doing this fundraiser for Katya is giving you more exposure to different aspects of the game that you can start to figure out. And that to me is really exciting to see what you can do with that. What would you add there?
I think that is a cool opportunity to see some things and do some things I wouldn't be able to do beforehand, because there's no way anything close to this I'd be able to do through school. Anything I would be trying to do through school would have a lot of barriers and boxes put around it, and I'd have to do it a certain way. But even fundraising for a club, there's a lot of barriers you have to do and things you have to do. And honestly, some of them I don't care that much about, fundraising for some of my clubs. But for this is something I do care about, and it'd be something fun for me to do with my sister. So.
Yeah. Yep. So do you have a goal, a fundraiser goal that you're trying to reach, of how much you want to raise for Shriners?
Not right now. Okay. I haven't thought about that.
Okay. That's cool. Do you know how much we've done in the past?
At least 5,000?
Yep. I think we did 3,000 and then 2,000.
Oh, I thought we did 5,000 in 1 year.
Maybe we did. To be honest, I don't remember.
That's okay.
I'll have to go back and look, but I would love to see you raise even more. Mm-hmm. I think that would be very cool.
Yeah, I think my goal is just raise more than we've had in the past.
Yeah, there you go. Just beat my dad.
Just beat my dad. Only goal.
Yes, there's some healthy competition. All right, did we get through April? That was track season?
That's pretty much just track. And getting ready for Katya's fundraiser.
Okay. And then do you want to keep going through the months, or is that?
We could do that. We're almost done.
Okay. May, AP
testing. My goal is to get 5s on both my tests. I'm only taking 2, so that should not be
only
hard.
2.
Only 2. Well, only 2 because last year I took 6.
Yes. And your biliteracy
and test. My biliteracy test. So yeah, that's pretty much working on that, and then getting ready to graduate.
Yeah.
In June, graduate. Do you have any questions you want to ask about May and June?
No, I think those are good.
Okay. And then, graduating in June, and then going to Scotland in June, like the week I get out of school, which is going to be very exciting. And then continuing forth into July, I am going to a Forrest Frank concert with Eloise, which I am very excited about. I mention it to her about every day.
Yeah.
And she doesn't seem as excited, but I am excited. Will be our special thing that we'll be doing together before I leave, which is something I'm trying to do with all my siblings. I only have her figured out, but maybe Katya's fundraiser will be her special thing. Yeah,
that could be.
I mean, or I could just take her out to ice cream or something. That would be perfect.
She would love that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then July is summer, and I'll be living life, planning on going to the temple for the first time.
Yeah.
In July. And then in August, I will be leaving. And then that's the end.
That is the end.
That's it. And then I'll be off somewhere great.
Yeah. It will be great.
Mm-hmm. And jumping back to like April, that's hopefully when I'll get my mission call. So.
Oh, you think you'll get it in April?
Well, I'm submitting. The earliest I can submit is March 19th. So.
March 19th. Is that 150 days before
August 19th.
August 19th.
I did the math.
Okay.
Oh, 16th. It's August 16th.
Okay. August 16th. Okay. So that's when your date of availability is. Why did you decide to have it be August 16th and not, I don't know, July 1st, for example?
Well, I will still be in Scotland likely on July 1st. I also would like a little more time after I graduate from high school to be able to be an adult. Not that I'm going to be doing anything. I probably won't be doing anything, but I just I didn't want to jump straight in. I wanted to be able to relax and be able to spend a little time with my family before I went. And August 16th is also after my mom's birthday. And so one last birthday with her.
Yeah, that's a good idea. She will appreciate that. So that means that this Christmas that we just had was your last Christmas.
Yeah.
Any thoughts about that and how it was and all that?
Well, it was like the best Christmas ever, so that was nice.
What made it the best Christmas ever?
I really enjoyed seeing my mom spoiled so much. All of us kids got her a gift this year, which we don't usually do, but we all got her a gift, and I thought that was really cool, and she was really happy, and she just kept opening more gifts. She's like, there's more for me to open, and we're like, yep.
It's not just a robe.
Keep them going. Keep them going. And so it's a lot of fun to see that, and it was just a lot of fun it was fun to see you and Mom and how, like, whatever Mom said about trust or something, or whatever you said about trust, and you started crying, which you don't cry very much, but, like, you were crying and Mom was crying. It was just, and Katya was like, I'm going to cry. And so it was really cool.
Yeah, good. Any other thoughts about it being your last Christmas at home?
I mean, going back to what I said earlier, like, it was a natural progression of things. I wasn't really sad, but then when I was going to bed, I was sad, but I was also tired. So, but I mean, it's going to happen. It's like being sad about it isn't really going to change anything. So just excited about the future. And it was good to have my last Christmas be a great Christmas.
Yeah, I agree. I thought this Christmas was really great also. And really fun. And we spent good quality time together. and it was nice.
And you got a bidet.
And I got a bidet. So from you, which
yes.
I very much appreciate. Mm-hmm. I did install it, and it's wonderful.
Good.
So ever since I went to Japan in, what year was that, 2023, I fell in love and wanted a bidet when I came home, and I just never pulled the trigger, and then you did, and it was perfect. I apologize again about my poor microphone skills. I should really figure out how to be good at podcasting.
That might be a good thing to figure out.
All right. Okay. So gonna go on a mission. We'll probably record early August again, and then see what your goals are for your mission, what that's gonna look like, and all that. Once you know where you're going and everything.
Woo woo.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy to think you could have your mission call in April.
Why would I not?
I mean, it's just, I know that it's coming, but that's only 4 months away.
Yeah. I mean, I already started working on my papers. I just wish I could submit them already.
Yeah. Well, all you have to do is change your date.
Yeah. I'm not leaving July 1st.
Okay. All right. So, okay. Anything else that you want to say before we sign off for this year?
I don't think so. Thank you guys for listening.
Okay.
You guys are the fam. Thanks. Thanks for listening to the pod.
Don't call it a pod. That's the worst. Okay. We got to look one more question in the future before we close. In 10 years, what do you think or 9 years now, 2025, will make this year one of the years of a decade never to be forgotten?
I think definitely my 3 periods of school, definitely I think will be very memorable, and the growth I've been able to make with having that time. And I also think my trip to Germany as well.
Okay. There you have it. There's Cali. And thank you for listening to A Decade Never to Be Forgotten with Cali Jones.